What's up, beautiful people? It's Sindærfam. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be checking this video from 𝑗𝑜𝑖𝑛, and it's titled, "Is 40 hours of work too much?" Ooh, interesting. I'm excited to check this one out. So what 𝑗𝑜𝑖𝑛 I've got to say on here. Let's check it out.
So we love having debates on Twitter, and we love Zoomers whining on X. And so what's going on, Matt Walsh, our friend over at the Daily Wire, kind of got a lot of heat because of how he responded to this extremely upset Zoomer. And I thought we should talk about it because there was actually a very strong split between myself and a lot of friends and a lot of conservatives on X. It's a bit of a long clip, but this is basically some Zoomer. She's about 22, and she's complaining about her life. And it's a
That's
clip.
what they tend to do.
Yeah, it's clip number 69. So let's just play that.
Why is it that I have to work 40 hours a week just so I can have a place to live? 40 hours a week makes me $2,000 a month, and my rent is $1,660. So I work 40 hours a week so I can have a 2-bedroom apartment
40 hours a week.
an extra $300 a month. Like, doesn't cover my phone, internet, food, you know? So not only do I not have any extra money, but just working makes me so exhausted that I don't have time either. Like, I get off work at 5:30, come home, and I'm just so tired. I'm so tired that, like, anything that I need to do outside of work, I then just push off to, like, the weekend. And I'm like, I'm just too tired to do this after work. I'll wait until Saturday. So then I end up with so much to do on the weekend that ends up having to be split into 2 days. So I have to do stuff on both Saturday and Sunday. So then I don't get a day off. I don't get a day to relax. I don't get to decompress. So it is really like working 7 days a week, constantly. And I don't want to do that anymore, right? Like, I don't care how poor and miserable I would have to be, but I literally can't have a place to live without this, you know? Like, I don't know what to do.
So are you sympathetic to this?
So I'll explain after this is done. In fact, I think we've got the idea. You guys can cut it now.
The money.
On her side.
Yeah,
I'm on
and
her
so
side.
here's
So many questions.
Here's what happens.
Where does she live?
I'm not sure, but 1,600 for a 2-bedroom. She probably doesn't live in a major city, to be honest. That's like, you would not get a.
That's about Arizona.
She's got to get some blood work done.
2-bedroom here is more.
She's got to get her vitamin D
No, that's
level
about
checked.
16
She's
for a
got a vitamin
2-bedroom
B
apartment.
deficiency.
But she,
Mine is not
I think she acknowledges that something is physically wrong.
You live
with her.
swanky. Okay.
Yeah, she's got to
guess.
start
She's saying-
supplementing with some stuff.
anyway,
She's got some magnesium, probably potassium, sodium. She's got some
But there's something
electrolyte.
else
What makes this interesting here? Matt Walsh, he replies to this in a way that seemed pretty reasonable to me. He replies, you can put number 70 up on screen. Honestly boggles my mind that so many people think 40 hours of work a week is a lot. That leaves you at least 5 or 6 waking hours a day during the week to yourself and 2 days on the weekend. How much more free time do you really think you should have? And then he continues on number 71. Of course, the reason you see women in these videos so often is that most women don't actually want to work professional careers at all, but they've been pushed this direction by society. But even so, we should be clear that taking care of children will mean working more than 40 hours a week. A lot more. Life is work, no matter how you slice it. Suck it up and deal with it. Now, what's interesting is a lot of people I know, and also a lot of the comments from conservatives on X, were super hostile to this. They think Matt is being a spiritual boomer. He's being super dismissive of how terrible it is to be
This
a
is
young
why
person
Turning
in
Point
America.
is taking over the world, because
And we get some of these responses.
Tyler works like 190, like he works 145 hours a week.
This is what they would say too.
I haven't
They
had
were
a day off since I met Charlie Kirk.
A
Like,
big
that's
response
true.
was, they're saying, Matt, you're a podcaster. You barely work. You just work 6 hours a week talking on a screen, which I don't know, Matt, but I suspect he works more than that, much like you work a lot more than when you're on screen hosting a show.
Yeah, I have
We
a
all
40 hours a week, she's out here complaining, crying. I mean, there are lots of other people who do these things. or who work 40 hours a week, more than 40 hours a week. So our complaint is she need more time. Well, part of adulthood is lots of people really want to grow up quickly, but they're not ready to face what adulthood is about. And yes, adulthood doesn't come with manual. There is no guideline on how to go or live adulthood, because everyone faces different deal with adulthood differently. But now she's out here complaining about her rent and at work, how much she doesn't have time for anything to do all of the fun cute stuff. But she has 2 bedroom. She pays a rent 2 bedroom. She earns $2,000 a month. Our rent is $1660 a month. 2 bedrooms. Well, she could split that cost or split that bill to have a roommate. I mean, lots of people will be, oh, well, there are some places where you don't have to have a roommate. Well, there are some places where you have to, sometimes you need to have a roommate, because when the life gets tough or harder, you need to cut your expenses or live either within your means or below your means, because this one is way too high for her, what she's earning and the rent she's paying. It is way too high for her. It is a sad reality. I mean, amidst every other thing, if she don't want to work, well, she can move in with her parents. It's just a nice suggestion, a better suggestion to move in with the parents and have extra cost until have extra bill till she save up and be ready to live alone. But let's say she don't want to live alone, or she don't want to live with her parents, but she wants to live alone. Well, I mean, start with cutting the expenses, because her rent and her salary don't match. The math is not matching. So that is where you're supposed to start from. And more so, if she's decided she don't want to work, if she's decided that 40 hours a week is too much, then if she wants to do any other work aside working 40 hours a week, she would also be exhausted. There is still no time. We understand that there is inflation, but it's not just only in America. There's inflation everywhere, and you have to cut and balance everything up. It's crazy, but it's a sad reality. And more so, she should also know that there are people who would afford a work that she's talking about, or that job that she's talking about 40 hours a week, which is sad also. And another thing is sometimes some people don't even realize that not everybody is called out to work for a professional job or whatever. Even owning a business, you still have to do the work. You have to work a lot. Lots of people work a lot. So I mean, sometimes some people just don't want to work anything, but they want to earn, or they want to be paid. It's just crazy. And we now live in a society where lots of people are now taught to be soft and taught to be babied up and down, and don't want to really do what adults are meant to do. It's just part of life. But yeah, let's go on.
Yeah, I have
We
a
all
couple
know
things
that.
going on.
Yeah. And
If you enjoy what you do, okay, you never work a day in your life.
Exactly.
people do point that out. If maybe she has a really draining job. I don't know
Well,
what
first
it was.
off, the math doesn't add up.
Yeah.
She's getting paid allegedly $11 an hour.
Yeah, where is she? Like
That's not-
Jackson, Mississippi?
that's
She
or
might be
something?
maybe she's a fast food worker. It could be really
They
bad.
pay
for
like
all I know.
$22 an hour now.
Yeah, I just went. They pay
At In-N-Out, they have this big thing, $25 an hour to flip burgers.
It's literally in most of these places. There's the minimum wage is like way higher than that. So she's either lying, or number two, she has literally a garbage job, which is you should have done this.
Not
in
literally a garbage job. Garbage man probably pays like 30.
No, I mean a garbage job, like
She also has
a formal job.
She
but-
probably has no skills. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Well, and this actually goes back to the argument we make all the time. At least when I was at the TPUSA side of things, when we talk with young people should be working in high school.
Yes.
I worked a full-time job in high school where I got paid the equivalent of that. I got paid, I think my first job was $3.25 an hour or whatever it was. That job, that's when you learn those skills so that you, beyond high school, you can advance to something else. So you're still living in your parents' home. You're working a job that pays too little to actually live on your own.
That's another
The second
part of
thing is
this.
like, why didn't she live with someone? There's such things as roommates and everything else. Move somewhere that is more amenable to you. none of this actually makes sense, and she started her life too late because probably her parents belong in jail like the last parents. that we
This
talked
is
about.
a phenomenon I have seen, though. This is something that exists. I think it's some sort of Midwestern boomer. It codes as conservative or libertarian to me. There are some parents who really like the idea of having their kids get out of the house right away at 18. You're on your own, live on your own, take care of yourself, sink or swim. And I do wonder if that
My parents are that way.
a lot of people are like that. It seems counterproductive to me. It seems
No.
well, one,
No.
if you're throwing people out to sink or swim right away, the answer that a lot of them do is they become huge liberals because they're cut off from all existing
That
structures.
does happen.
And
You're right.
also, just we talk about the importance of, setting a good foundation for your life. And I think one of the ways you do that is we should be emphasizing you get a huge return on saving money early. So this person is essentially being destroyed because she lives on her own, making $2,000 a month.
Can I counter argument what you just said though?
Sure.
So I do think that a lot of people who are kicked out of their house do become liberals, but then they more quickly and more rapidly become conservatives again because they have to figure their own lives out. Now, I've seen just as many people in my life who have lived in their parents' home until they're 35 who have become the most obnoxious liberals because they've never had to leave, never had to do anything on their own, and then they end up inheriting the family business or some large sum of money from a family member when their parents die, and then they never learned any life skills their entire life. And so I think no matter what, we have work to do on both sides of it, but I do think that the entire concept of having a bigger family where you're forced to kick kids out of the home is ultimately better for society than having fewer kids that live under your roof until you die.
Well, definitely not live until you die. I think you can easily coddle kids too much, or you're Italian and they have their kids live with them until
Or Russian.
they're
or-
35. That can be bad. But if you have the expectation, or you consider it normal, work at home, start your career while working at home, go to school while staying at home. You do not need to race into your own place.
But you should do that in high school. I mean, the argument I would make to you is like that should happen in high school. You should have garbage jobs in high school. You should flip burgers and scoop ice cream and work at Target in the checkout line and have to dig ditches and do stupid stuff when you're a high schooler, instead of running around, doing bad stuff, that high schoolers are doing now because they're coddled too much in high school, or playing full-time sports, which I actually think that that's a horrible thing, is that we should be like I see every kid, when I was in high school, kids played one sport in high school or they played multiple sports as they're growing up. Now we've got kids like doing travel, like they're like going to be the second coming of Wayne Gretzky or something, and none of them are that good. And then they turn into bad kids because they have all this free time because they're focused more on sports and like a I guess we can cuss on this, right? So sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah, a half booty,
Okay.
school career, and then they end up in college and they never learn anything. But I think if you put kids to work, and the family business doesn't count, by the way. You should force kids to go out, have to work for someone else, learn real valuable lessons, get fired from a few jobs, do that at an earlier age, and they're probably going to be more successful.
Well, I'm not of the opinion for letting kids have a job or work a job in high school. I'm of the opinion when they're in college, that should be the best idea for them to start working. At least with that, they can prepare themselves or get ready for when they are out of college, or when they are ready to face what adulthood is like, or adult life is about. Because those in high school, they're not even ready mentally to know what adult life is about. They're still children or they're still kids. And I am of the opinion that they should be taught, they should be allowed to be kids. Maybe they can do house chores and learn the basic from home, so when they get to college, it will be easier for them to transition to work jobs, or have other jobs that would help them prepare for what real life is about. But I'm also of the opinion that parents shouldn't kick their children out of their home when they are 18 or when they turn 18, they should also learn to be with their parents, study and watch their parents in their adult life to know what adulthood is about, so they learn the basic of providing for family or being supporting the home and learning how to take care of the home and all of that. Because by chasing people or chasing kids out of the home, you're making them to be grown up too quickly, and sometimes some of them don't even know the basic of life. Exactly, they will turn liberal, which we see it happen many of the time. So why, by being in the house, they can learn the basic stuff, which is good. Because yeah, some people don't have the luxury of staying with their parents or living with their parents till 25 or 30 or whatnot, and it's different for different people. But at the same time, people can also learn from home, because that is what many people don't even learn. People don't learn these things from home. I am from a country where parents don't chase their children out of the home. The only time parents don't allow their children live with them is when they are married, or when they have a new family, or when they get married. That is when they don't allow their children to live with them. But other than that, many people still live with their parents from 25, 30, and some people move from their parents' house to their husband's house, or some people move from their parents' house to their marital home. Sometimes both male and female, and sometimes some people are shamed for this, and people shouldn't be shamed for this, because by doing so, people learn all of those things and also learn how to contribute to help the family. So this also needs to be taught, because it's raising many weak people. And you also wonder why many people, when they grow up to be adults, because they missed out on their childhood age, or the times where they were meant to be kids, you wonder why now, when they are now adults, they want to try to behave like kids, because they missed out on those times. So it's just crazy. But at the same time, she's living way above her means, above what she earned, and she needs to check that out. More likely she can get a roommate or move in with her parents if she's still in good terms with her parents. But all the same, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment down below. I'm sure tons of people have things to share regarding this, and I really love you to share that. And share the useful information you think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.